I did it all for the nookie.
Come on.
The nookie.
Come on!
So you could take that cookie.
And stick it up your...
Yeah.
Stick it up your...
Yeah.
Stick it up your...
Yeah.
Stick it up your...
Yeah. Welcome to our very first episode of Getting Fat with Caleb and Joe. Right. I am Joe.
And I am Caleb. And it is PHAT, PHAT, because we were growing up in the 90s.
Someday. We'll get there.
Yeah. It's going to take some time, but...
So we have both recently let ourselves go, and this podcast is going to track our weight loss, our teeth whitening, and whatever else we decide that we need to improve on. It's basically a self-improvement podcast.
Right. We're conforming to society, and we're going to tell you all about it.
Exactly.
Their standards of beauty will be ours.
The biggest thing, I think, though, is probably the weight loss. Now, me and you both worked out, what was it, earlier this year? We started last December, right?
Yeah.
Working out. We worked out pretty steadily up until about May.
Yeah, we did.
And then you got a new job, and so your schedule changed, and thus, because I was working out with you, my schedule changed too, and both of us lost track of our fitness goals.
Yeah, and we completely lost track.
Right.
So.
I actually lost quite a bit of weight. I started out at 272 that December, or last December. And then by May, I had lost, I think it was like exactly 30 pounds.
I think so.
I was in the low 40s. I was about to hit the 230s, basically. So 272 to 242.
Yeah,
is what I had done, and you lost like 10 pounds, didn't you?
Yeah, it was probably about 15. I went from I think 210 to probably around 195, 196.
Right.
And keep in mind, the first workout we did was pretty heavy muscle building.
The
so
AR7, it wasn't muscle building. It was muscular hypertrophy. So it would like make your muscles really big.
Yeah,
it wasn't strength training.
It's like a shock trauma, basically, to your body.
Yeah, we did the AR7, the Jason Momoa workout for 8 weeks, I think.
Yeah.
And we both, at least I noticed, my arms were big. Like by the time we were done.
Yeah, I definitely noticed some increase.
Which was cool. And then I decided, I wanted to lose more weight instead of just building stuff, and I lost a little bit of weight during that. I lost like 10 pounds off of that one.
Yeah.
But then we did Insanity, right?
Yeah.
And we did Insanity, I think, for about a month and a half. But we had to restart a couple times because we weren't doing it as regularly as we should have.
Right.
What happened with me was that the first 2 weeks it was really tough to lose weight because I was just calorie counting instead of doing the diet. But as soon as I did the Insanity diet, then the pounds dropped. And I dropped like 15 pounds in just a couple weeks.
Right.
And so at the end of this whole us working out for a long while, I, of course, lost 30 pounds. You lost 10 or 15, you say?
Yeah.
Yeah, and did you feel better at the time?
Yeah, I did. My cardio was, pretty awesome because of Insanity, and I was stronger than I was before, obviously, and it just felt good. The only thing that didn't feel good was the highly dairy-oriented diet because I am lactose intolerant, and the yogurt that I had to eat, the yogurt consumption.
From the Insanity Fitness Nutrition Guide.
Right. I kind of went super streamlined and just chose 4 meals, and that was like all I ate for a month, basically, which it doesn't really matter to me. I don't really need variety necessarily, especially if I'm dieting because I just accept the fact that it's going to be so-so the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
So one of the meals was like it was a cup of low-fat or fat-free.
Dude, that was the worst one.
Yeah,
oh, man.
with an apple. It was
yogurt
with an apple, yeah. And, man, there was one day where I was laying down in the shower and my gut just felt like some fat bastard was just standing on my stomach, and it was just, it was insane.
We gotta try to keep this podcast clean.
Yeah, we'll try.
I heard you almost slip the F word.
Yeah, bastard's okay, though.
Yeah, bastard's fine. In case you guys don't know, we have another podcast. It's really geeky. It's a Final Fantasy fan podcast.
Right.
And then we also have a podcast that makes fun of fan fiction. But for the clean audience out there, we're not gonna force them to go listen to our other podcasts.
Right. It's awesome, but you don't have to.
So that was your experience with the diet. My experience with the diet, I farted a lot. I remember that because it was a really high in protein diet.
Yeah.
And then I hate yogurt. I hate it. Unless it's like flavored sugar yogurt. I cannot stand it. So the yogurt part was really, really rough for me. It was just gross, you know? And so now that we're here, now that we're a few months later, I have to say that I gained 20 of the 30 pounds back. Almost 20. I was 161 last time I weighed myself. And so from 272 to 161, at least I kept 10 pounds of it off. I guess that's
261,
nice.
You mean?
Yeah, 261. I do miss the hundreds area. Quite
yeah, that's a big difference.
Yeah, I know. Like, I'm doing great.
Yeah. All you have to do is stop working out, and you'll drop it like crazy.
But for a guy my height, I stand at 5'8"?
Yeah, 5'8".
9 or something. And we measured ourselves recently because, just had to prove who was taller.
Right. Even though we can, see that.
At that height, I'm supposed to be in like the 270s.
170s, you mean?
Or the 170s to not be obese. If it was the 270s, I'd be doing great, wouldn't I?
Yeah. Well, yeah. And for me, I gained back probably about 5 pounds.
Yeah, but your job now, it's a lot more physical.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't think I've lost much of the muscle, but I've definitely gained a little more gut since we quit easily. So, and I'm about 5'9", so technically, according to the BMI, which is not a great system to use if you want honesty, I'm overweight.
I'm obese
all the time. Yeah, I'm obese according to the BMI, and I don't.
Are you obese?
Yeah.
No, you must be borderline overweight obese.
I'm obese at 200.
At 200, what are you right now?
200.
Oh,
like exactly.
See, I'm obese. I remember in high school looking at the BMI chart, and I was in 200. I was about 200 in high school, which I really wish I had kept on that. I still felt fat then, so I can kind of sympathize with you, but at the same time, I'm like, you're so much skinnier than I am, so screw you.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm not looking for that. But the thing is with the BMI, it's not something you want to take too much to heart, because back when I was still taking college classes and I took my fitness for life class or something like that.
Yeah.
I was about 169 in that class. I weighed about just under 170. And at 170, according to my height, I would be overweight. And I was running like an 11-minute mile and a half. So, like, I don't buy that at all. Plus, they have those little things you hold on to, and it sends a little electric current through your body to test your body fat.
Your fat amount, yeah.
Yeah, my body fat was like 10%, and I was just about overweight. So the BMI,
both you and I have quite a bit of muscle, I'd say, just naturally.
Yeah, we're kind of bigger too. We're not like stick thin.
Now I'm fat now. I do have muscle, but I can't do what I did in high school and say that it was mostly muscle, which it was in high school. I would say that it was mostly muscle in high school. I took a lot of weightlifting, and I was really into that type of stuff. Not the nutrition aspect, so I always had a gut on me, but I had quite a bit of muscle, and I can still beat most people in arm wrestles, I'd say.
Yeah, I remember that. Even when I was heavily working out, you just were able to overcome me every time. I was like, this is crap, man. Everyone else I can take down, but you.
So, Caleb, from that fitness class, which was that your skinniest time, you think?
No.
No,
the skinniest time in adult memory, I weighed about 156.
156. When was that?
That was probably 2010.
Okay, so 4 years ago.
Yeah. I was 19.
So, what made you gain all that weight?
A lot of it's just more responsibility, less time to work out. I don't care about what I eat, really. I just eat whatever I feel like, and that's a lot of it. And
I think that's everybody who gains weight. I think that's the problem.
Yeah, they just eat too much.
Yeah.
Or eat the wrong things. Not necessarily too much quantity-wise, because I can eat, 10 apples every day and be fine. But if I eat one Beto's burrito, it's suddenly not fine. Same volume, but one of them's packed with bacon and the other one is not. So a lot of it's probably my diet and just us not working out. It's hard to feel motivated when you're working out by yourself. It just doesn't feel right.
That's true. And this is kind of what the podcast is going to be about. It's so that we can check in with not only each other, but audience members, listeners can provide feedback. And we're working out not only for ourselves, but for them.
Yeah.
That's how I feel. That's how I feel like this podcast could become something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that would be very interesting.
Yeah. So how did you just gain the weight by not caring?
Pretty much. Not caring and
not working out except when we were working out?
Yeah.
Okay.
And a lot of it once I quit Hostess, or when Hostess went under,
because you were working at Hostess before that.
Yeah, I was eating all sorts of bad stuff, but I was skinny then. I don't know how, but right when they went under, I bought like 12 boxes of Twinkies or something like that, and I just dominated those things. So I seriously gained like 10 pounds within the month after Hostess brands went bankrupt.
And then, of course, the Twinkie came back.
It did. It's not the same, but I didn't really care for them that much anyway. I just had a bunch of them, and I was like...
You just felt like, for sentimental reasons, you must keep the Twinkies.
Yeah, either that or I wanted to become immortal and like coat my insides with whatever keeps them fresh so that I will never die. Or at least I'll never rot. So we'll see how that goes in like another 70 years.
All right, so I'll talk about myself now, which I know I don't like to do, but this time I'll allow it. Back in high school, as I said, I think junior high to high school, I was a fat kid, but I started taking a lot of PE classes because I'd run out of required credits and I didn't want to work my brain at all because I was an idiot in high school.
Okay.
So I had like jogging class, which I would just walk during jogging class because I was the fat kid. And then, not the fat kid. I was the second fattest kid.
Caleb?
Yeah. Caleb
Nice.
Craig was the fat kid, who I would walk with, and we talk about Final Fantasy, which now we do on a podcast.
Yeah, that sounds really
works.
familiar to me.
Yeah. But then I would take a lot of weightlifting classes, and somewhere in the middle of my senior year, after I had gotten in a very serious relationship with she who shall not be named, but shall be talked about a lot on this weight loss podcast. I lost like 20 pounds. So like I was regularly about 226 from like junior high to high school. And then I had somehow gotten in a very comfortable zone of about 200 in somewhere in the middle of my senior year.
Okay.
Now what happened after that was that as soon as I graduated high school and the schedule went from, you'd go to school for 6 hours a day. I'd be in PE classes for at least 2 hours of those, 2.5 sometimes. And it's not like I would work out hard, but I'd be doing something, right? It went from that to nothing for about a year. And I was still dating this girl for a year after high school, and we'd go hiking a lot. So I was generally well fit. I think I gained probably maybe 15 pounds while I was dating her.
Okay.
After high school, but then we broke up. And what happens, at least what happened to me when I broke up, I'm not the type of person when I get stressed that I stop eating. I really wish I was one of those people. You know those people that they're like, "Oh, I'm stressed, I'm sad, I just don't want to eat." I'm the opposite of that. Yeah. I'm like, I want to gorge myself as much as I can. Like my sadness must be like quenched
with food.
And so I was pretty depressed for a year. Like after we'd broken up, we dated for 2 years, and of course it was my first serious girlfriend, right? And like I had a lot of emotional investment in this horrible relationship. Really, is what it was. And so I think I brought myself up to. Well, where I brought myself down to recently, it was the lower 240s, right?
Okay.
So I had gone from 200 through the year where the relationship was horrible, I gained pounds. And then after I broke it up, I gained like another 20, 25 pounds after that for the next year. And it was right about then that I started like getting, I was, it was a year by, I'd gone to like this is really personal information, but I'd gone to a therapist. I was doing all these things because, I don't know, my life was screwed up about then. This must have been, 3 years ago now? 2011, I think. Yeah, so somewhere near the middle of 2011, maybe early 2000. No, the middle of 2011. What was I saying?
You got really depressed.
Oh yeah, I got really depressed, and then
and you're starting to pull out, as I think what.
I started going to therapist, and he said, it's you got to work out and stuff. It'll help you with the thing. So I started working out at the school gym, but I started doing that, and I'd lose I'd basically do this. I'd have a steady workout for like 2 weeks, right? And I'd have a steady diet, and then something would come up, I'd get lazy, and I'd stop. So during those 2 weeks, though, I would, for some odd reason, losing 10 pounds is really easy for me. I will lose 10 pounds in 2 weeks if I work out. Like, I'll start working out for 2 weeks, and then I'll stop for a few months, and then I'll go back to the 2 weeks thing. And that's what I was doing. And that's what I did. I moved down to, Snow College to just, to have a change of scenery or whatever. And I did the same thing there. I'd work out for like 2 weeks, and then I'd stop for a few months, and then I'd work out for 2 weeks. Basically, I stayed in the 240s because of that. I'd sometimes go down, and then I'd go back up, basically. Until I came back up here to Utah Valley and started working at a fast food place, and of course I gained 30 pounds.
Yeah.
After like 6 months of working there. And so at the point when I hit the 270s, I think that's the point where I'm like, hey Caleb, we should work out.
Yeah.
So that's where I gained all my weight, and it's been a rough journey. I've always been a chubby kid though. So it's not like, I was ever skinny.
Right. I mean, same thing with me in high school. I was always pretty chubby, and back then I was shorter. Obviously, I grew like an inch and a half or so after I got out of high school. So I was always in the 170s, 180s. And I remember when Final Fantasy 12 came out, right? The first Final Fantasy that I could call my own. This is a video game,
for those who don't know.
Yeah, it's a video game. And I played that thing to death. And I seriously gained at least 15 pounds playing that damn thing. Because I would just sit around, eat. I'd play till, 3 a.m., wake up at 7, go to school, be super tired, so my metabolism's just shot. Mm-hmm. And same situation. I was always the chubby kid in school. I wasn't the fat kid necessarily, but
you were a little chubby.
Yeah.
I would never notice because you were so much skinnier than I was.
Yeah.
You still are.
Yeah, it's true. But
still feel good about that. But of course, when I was your weight, I still felt fat, so I can understand.
Yeah. Well, when you were my weight, you were also probably like 3 inches shorter than you are now.
No, I was the same height.
Really?
I haven't changed a bit since like 6th grade.
Oh, you were a freak then.
No, I was really tall in elementary. I was the second tallest kid in elementary school.
Jeez.
Yeah. I was a giant.
Yeah, just like slowly.
And then just everybody else went past me.
Isn't that cheap?
Yes.
It's so wrong. You come back from summer and
here's the problem. Even in elementary school, like, kids will make fun of you for any reason, right? And so when you're a kid and you're super big, people will make fun of you because of how big you are.
Right.
And I wasn't like the bully type I should have been. I should have just used my size against other people, but I didn't. And so like I was the one being kind of picked on by like short kids that were calling me fat and all this other stuff. So
right.
like, yeah, that was rough, I'd say. And so I gotta harbor those fat kid feelings.
Yeah,
for the rest of my life.
We gotta get rid of those.
So that's basically our weight loss and weight gain stories. Now, Caleb, what is your plan? How are you going to get back into being? What are your fitness goals from this podcast, prologue podcast, up until a month from now?
So in a month, what do I want to accomplish?
Yeah.
Well, I probably want to get down to, probably want to lose about 10 pounds, which should be pretty easy if I diet. And that's the big one. Is
we're doing that, and we're not even drinking Diet Monsters. We're drinking.
No, we're drinking the low carbs.
Yeah. I gotta stop the energy drinks. They're killing me.
Yeah, they're not good for your heart
or my teeth. I don't have a dentist anymore.
Oh yeah, that's
ran
right.
out of insurance.
Got too old. So yeah, my big thing is to just really stay on myself and keep the calories low. I know you said that calorie counting didn't help you very much.
It didn't help me because of what I was eating.
Right.
I'd say.
I
like the Monsters.
Yeah, those
it's 0 calorie, but I think there's something about Monsters that just keeps you bloated.
Yeah, there could be. I don't know.
I always feel bloated after I drink an energy drink.
Yeah, but for me that does work. When I was just dieting, just eating 1,700 calories a day, I was just losing weight just naturally from my job and from just my standing
all day kind of thing.
No, I was thinking standing metabolism. That's what I was trying to say.
Okay. All right. That's what you were
So mostly I just, in the next month, I want to really crack down on self-discipline and, stop going to Tommy Burgers and getting cheesy fries all the time.
Right.
And just...
That's going to suck for Tommy's.
Yeah, it is.
They've gotten a lot of money from us over the last couple months.
They have. And just stick to smart meals. I mean, I'm probably going to... I force myself to eat breakfast. I'm never really hungry first thing in the morning, but that's one thing that I've heard helps is eating right away, because then it kind of gets your body going, kind of boosts your metabolism. And then I notice I'm just less hungry throughout the day. So I'm going to try to structure it to where it's a decent-sized breakfast, a big lunch, and a small dinner. And that way when I go to bed, I don't have a ton of extra energy that turns to fat. Kind of a thing. So,
are you planning on working out at all, or is it just going to be working out at your work?
Yeah, I plan on working out. I don't necessarily have a set plan yet.
Not yet. Okay.
Not exactly what I'm going to do, but I'll probably...
I should have probably given you a heads up before we started recording this thing.
No, it's fine.
Get a plan together.
It's fine. What I was starting to do when I got the rec pass for the gym here in Provo, I kind of just went through and did a bunch of different weight things, kind of upper body stuff, and then would just do a lot of cardio at the end. Okay. So I think I'm probably going to just set up my own sort of workout that's going to be mostly upper body and then cardio and abs each time I go.
Okay.
So what about you?
I'm going to do Insanity again.
Oh, man.
Yeah. I went through the nutrition plan this morning, and I picked out the crap that I hated last time, and I'm going to replace it with stuff that's easier to prepare and things I don't hate as much.
Okay.
So instead of the protein meal in the morning, it's going to be a protein shake with a bunch of fruit in it, which, that's so much better than that protein meal.
Yeah, the protein meal.
The protein meal made me want to just choke. I could never finish a full bowl of that stuff.
Really?
Yeah. Plus, it took so long to prepare. I went through the nutrition thing this morning and just looked for things that I could prepare in a Tupperware thing and just microwave it later.
Right.
Because I just want to be able to take a couple hours out on Sunday and do all my prep for the week and see what I can do with that.
Okay.
So I got rid of the protein meal, and instead of the yogurt horribleness, it's gonna be I think it was a nutrition bar or something like that. I gotta look for a nutrition bar that's about 200 calories, less than 15 grams of sugar, and then more than 10 grams of protein. That's what it said in the nutrition thing.
All right.
So basically, tonight I'm going to go on a big grocery shopping spree and then start Insanity on Monday, which is going to be the 3rd of November of 2014.
Okay.
So that's when I'm going to do the first fit test for Insanity once again.
Yeah, I would love to join you with that, but I don't think it would ever work out.
No, our schedules are too messed up.
And also, I drive all day for my work, and there's no time for me to eat those little meals. And when you're doing Insanity, you have to have those damn meals.
Right.
You can't just skip.
Right.
You're just weak and start blacking out. So.
Well, the thing about Insanity, I wasn't losing that much weight when I was just counting calories. But when I did Insanity with their nutrition plan, it was disgusting.
Yeah, it's great.
Like, so I think it's a great plan. And so I'm going to do that. And I'm going to stop. This is going to be my last energy drink.
Okay.
And I'm going to stop the soda too. Up until the day when I start Insanity, which then it'll just be planned meals. I can't really go away from that. It'll just be water and crap like that.
Yeah, water and tea.
Yeah, maybe.
The tea movement begins.
And then I'm going to go get some Crest White Strips too, because I feel like I need to whiten my teeth also.
Yeah, I probably ought to as well. I've never done that, so... And I
drink
coffee.
It works. Yeah, you drink a lot of coffee, so your teeth are kind of yellow.
Well, and the crappy part is I drink coffee and I leave for work after that. So like I always brush my teeth at night. That's usually when I.
Of course, the real reason I'm doing this is because I'm interested in a girl right now, and it's like I need my teeth white again.
Yeah, it doesn't hurt. Or you can get a tan.
I can't get a tan.
Oh, that's right.
I'm a redhead. I can't do a tan. I gotta ask you a question though, Caleb. Are we gonna do the whole thing? We're gonna have the before and after pictures. So we're gonna have to take like pictures of our shirts off. I really just want to see you with your shirt off, Caleb. That's really what I'm going for. Yeah.
It's not bad. I mean, if I'm not sucking it in, it's kind of bad, but I think we can.
You want to do that? Because then the listeners can go along with us. They can see our progress.
Right.
So if we do those pictures like once a week, I know we'll have shirtless pictures of us on the internet, and that's going to be kind of embarrassing. But I think it'll help us and the listeners, I think, track our progress. And then once I get like a forum up or something for this podcast for the listeners, then we can see the listeners' progress. Right. You guys out there, you guys listening, we're eventually going to have a thing where we can see you guys and how you guys are doing.
Yeah, I mean, making it a group effort always helps. That's one of the big reasons why we got fat again. It's because we don't work out together.
Right.
There's no motivation. So, yeah, that'll be great. I think we should do that.
Okay.
At least once a week.
All right, let's do that then.
It'll be mostly the same for a while, but then after a few months, you'll be able to see the difference. So it's something that helps.
All right. Well, I think we're going to end it for this prologue episode. We're going to have our first episode where we're going to check in on each other, and I think we're going to record that. Let's record that on the 2nd of November.
Okay.
Okay, because we got to put this episode out a little early so that iTunes can accept the podcast.
Right.
So 2nd of November, we'll check in after I've done a week of Insanity, and then you do a week of whatever you do. Make sure you have a plan and let us know what it is.
Oh, I will.
Time. And did I say 2nd of November?
Yeah, you did.
Oh, excuse me. I mean the 9th of November.
Right, because we're starting it.
Right, we're starting it on the 3rd. I'm starting it on the 3rd, at least.
Okay.
And so I'll check in on the 9th of November. Sorry, guys. The 9th.
All right, sounds good.
Let's do that.
Let's do it.
All right.
We'll meet back then.
What should I say? What should our sign-off be for this new show? Because I know you have a special sign-off for the other shows.
True.
So what should our sign-off be?
Enjoy the sweat.
Enjoy the sweat? It always has to be the enjoy the blank?
Yeah, that's a good formula for a sign-off.
I guess, yeah. Well, it's kind of a copy of the Nerdist, though, because he says enjoy your burrito.
Does he?
Yeah, I don't even know what that means.
I don't even know that.
Yeah, well, it's...
Well, what about get fat?
Let's get fat?
Let's get fat.
Let's get fat. PHAT.
Yeah.
And there is a website out there. It has nothing on it right now. It's called gettingfat.com. PHAT.
Yeah, I think it's got a picture you at the falls.
It's got a picture of me at the falls because I needed to just put a picture up.
Okay.
Okay? All right, guys. Let's get fat.
Let's get fat.